Okay, Kelim Perak Yud Ches Mishnah Aleph. Hashida. So we know Shida, Teva, and Migdal, right? As we should all know that, right? So Shida, Teva, and Migdal is uh basically we know the halacha is that anything that can hold memsa, like a refrigerator, doesn't need to doesn't become tummy. All right. So Shida, so Beishamay Ayronim, that is, but I mean, how do you measure it though? You go from the outside, the inside. So Beishamay Ayronim, that is, it gets measured from the inside. I mean, you don't take into account the thickness of the walls. It gets measured on the outside. All right, so then you'd have a lot less. Um, I don't know if it's a cooler or a chumrah. I don't know which way to say it. They're maida that the that the thickness of the legs and the thickness of the lizvazva, I never know how to pronounce that word. The lizvizin, it's in the singular. It's liz. I think it's lizviz, right? That's the lip of the kli. That's for sure not measured. Meaning, even according to Beis Hillel, you don't. That's not included as part of the 40 saw. Maidim Shaiv Eraglaim Va'iv lives in Nimdad. He Beshami Basil agree that they are measured. And if you measure that, then for sure you hold that the walls, the thickness of the wall gets measured, B'neim in Nimdad. But in between the legs is not, meaning if this box is on legs, excuse me. So the actual legs get measured, but not in between the legs. Reb Shimon Shazuri, I remember Shimon Shazuri says, if the feet are a tefach high, Ein b'neihem nidad, then what's in between them doesn't get measured. V'im lav, and if not, b'neihem nimdad, then between them they do get measured. So those are the basic dinim machlokes of Sham B'Hillel of the size of memsa.
What's Lisbon again? The thickness of
Lisbon is the lip, a lip of the kli. I guess where it like flows over.
Oh, okay. Like the curved part on top. Yeah.
Uh, I think that's what it is, right? It's usually what it is.
I have no idea. Yeah. Now I have an idea.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it is. Beis muchni shala. Now, what about the wheel? All right, so muchni shala is machi nishmetes. When the wheel can come off, right? You can slide off the wheel, right? Then eina chibrala, that's not considered attached. Meaning, if the wheel becomes tame, then the cart doesn't become tame. And if the cart becomes tame, the wheel is not. Right? You don't use the wheel towards measuring memsa. And it doesn't get saved with the oil ames. Right? Meaning, if if you if you take the this box or cart or whatever it is that's on the wheels, so since it can't become tummy, then if let's say a mace goes under the cart, right, or the cart goes over a mace, whichever it is, um, then the things that are inside the box will not become tummy. All right. Meaning if there's something when you have a tumas oil, right? But if you have a break in between the oil, then and what between the mace and the oil, then it's gonna block it, right? So it depends if the thing that's over the mace can be makabel tum or not. But the wheels for sure are gonna have a problem. And the fourth thing, having nothing to do with tuma, is that you can't wheel this cart if there's money in it. We can't reel not the cart. If there's money in the wheel, you can't wheel the cart, right? Because it's a buses, right? But if it's not, if it doesn't, if the wheel doesn't come off, then we go the other way. Chibrula, it's considered attached. And you weigh it with it. And you save it on Elames. And you wheel it on Shabbos, even though there is money in it. Because why? Because it's you're really moving the cart, and that's not the normal way to move the money that's inside a wheel. All right. Meaning the main part of the cart is the cart, not the wheel. See if the wheel is a separate entity, so then your wheel then the coins are part of the money is part of the wheel. So you can't do it. But here the main thing he's pulling is the cart. Happens to be that there's some money in the wheel, then it's okay. Hakamran, Hakamran Shalah. So Kamran is a canopy. All right. So Bismanshu Kavua, if it's said Chibula, it's considered attached, and it gets measured with it. V'meina Kavua, and if it's not Kavua, Eina Chibula, it's not considered attached, and it does not get measured with it. How do you measure it? Roish Tor. So what you do is it's hard to, I mean, Roish Tor, what you do is you take a line, a diagonal line. All right? I'm not sure how to, the art school Mishnayos has a, I don't have a way to show it. You have anybody have a thing? Meaning, hey, you know what? Let me take a picture of it. Can you see this?
No, you gotta move it.
Hold on, hold on.
A little higher. Now you're good.
There you go. See, this is talking about that's the cart, obviously. There's the wheel. Then you have like this cover over the cart, and then you're trying to figure out how to measure the cart, whether that can hold mem saw. So you measure it on an angle. You don't square it off. You measure it on an angle. Right? Okay. So yeah. So how do you measure it for the for so you do it you do it from the Rosh tar, from the ends of a tar really means a line, right? But from the ends of the line. If the cart can't stand by itself unless it has this cover on it, then it's tar. All right. Meaning, if the bottom of the cart would be round and therefore it's going to be wobbly, and the only reason why it's not wobbly because it has this big weight of a cover on it, so then it's not. Then it's considered. It's not part of it. Let's do one more Mishnah. Shida v'ateva v'amigdal shenut la'achas miraglein. So if you have shida, teva, and migdal, those are all different types of boxes. And one of the feet came off. Afal pi shemakabel entire, and even though the makabel, right, meaning even though one leg fell off, but it could still hold the 40 saw, right? So it's tar. V'sheina makabel and kedarkam, but if you can't keep things in it anymore, right? Meaning it's a big slant. Rabbi Yossi Metamas and Rabbi Yossi says it's tame because it's not holding the memsa in a normal way. But naklite amita, so naklite amita, that's bedposts, right? We have that in sukkah. You have like in order to make a bed, like to make like a teepee on top of a bed. Naklite amita, for chamor doesn't mean a donkey. Some sort of wood, v'chifui, and some sort of covering. These are all part of the bed to hire, and they're all tahar. I mean, because they're not clay kibbles. Ein tame ella mita umalbein. And the only parts of the bed that are tame is the bed and the malbein, which is a piece of wood that you put the bed, where you put the leg of the bed into, right? And that's considered part of the bed, and it becomes tummy. Umal b'nei Levi tahirin, and the blocks of b'nei Levi, these squares of b'nei Levi are tar. Right? What does this mean? The Levim, when they went to the Beis Hamikdash, so they wouldn't bring beds. They would take these they would take these pieces of wood, right? Um, and why did they take these pieces of wood? Because this was like uh, an accessory to the bed. And these pieces of wood are there to make sure that the bed doesn't break. So they brought their own accessories with them so that people wouldn't mind lending them beds in Yerushalayim, and that they wouldn't be concerned that they're risking breaking their beds. All right, another one of those interesting mishnayos. But people wouldn't lend them the beds. So they bring these wood blocks that support the bed, and then people would lend them the beds. Okay. I don't have my Musar Sefer on me again. Apologize.